Then you're going to hustle while she's talking, get all the way around, secure to 1. So it's a moving position. You got to move. You'll be right. 7, 6.
Coming up on Channel 8 News, the Ahern Fieldhouse construction project is in full effect. Plus, we will be discussing on-campus housing and dining increased prices, and later a look into the record-breaking K-State track and field team. That's all coming up on Channel 8 News.
It is currently 50 degrees in Manhattan and sunny. There are some light winds coming out of the northwest. We will take a closer look at our full weather forecast coming up on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Annabella Peterson. Coming up today, we'll see how much longer campus construction projects will last. Plus, we'll hear from students and city officials about the parking zones in the Manhattan area. Later, we'll have more on the women's basketball team and their run in the NCAA tournament. Construction, or in this case, deconstruction, is well underway on the west side of Ahern Fieldhouse. Channel 8 reporter Cole Dutchendorf has more.
The original gymnasium and auditorium attached to the west side of Ahern Fieldhouse have been torn down, with about 60% of the work being done. The project sought to address a $480 million backlog, which was caused in part by maintenance needed at many buildings around campus. Tearing down the building is estimated to save the university around $30 million, according to Ethan Erickson, the Vice President of Administration and Finance.
It'll actually help the institution overall. We'll have less utility costs, maintenance costs, just upkeep costs overall. Which then should help us save some funds in the long term once we have those buildings down.
One thing Erickson and others involved in the decision-making process wanted to make clear was that Ahern Fieldhouse itself was not being altered.
I understand the confusion for sure, but resoundingly, the Fieldhouse will remain and will be a large focus of the visioning process through the campus master plan.
Kansas State plans to involve the community for deciding what to do with the green space that will result from the construction.
Also, we had Land and Lecture Series were in there. I saw President Nixon in Ahern. Also, Billy Graham was in Ahern.
With Ahern being a hub of both athletics and cultural events in the past, alumni have fond memories of the building.
And so that's an effort to look at and get feedback and input from our stakeholders, so our community, our alumni, our students, our faculty and staff. What should our physical campus look like in the future? And that.
In Manhattan, Cole Dutchendorf, Channel 8 News.
After construction is finished on the west face, it will be the first time since the 50s that Ahern will stand alone on a prominent corner of campus. Last updated in 2012, K-State's campus master plan revises the physical spaces of the university, and a town hall in Manhattan was hosted Tuesday to gather community feedback. Tim DeNoble, former Dean of the College of Architecture, Planning, and Design, is chair of the steering committee of the project. He emphasized, while there is something the university has to do, it is something that they want to do, and its timing aligned well with their new strategic plan.
You know, the whole idea of this process is not to have any preconceived notions about, what buildings should be saved, what buildings need to be modified, what buildings need to be replaced. Part of it is to do an assessment. We have some assessment mechanisms already, but also to like events like we're having today, where we have open forum, and then we have a whole series of interviews with campus leaders, and then we have focus groups. It's to gather people's opinions and appreciation and their viewpoints.
Several residents of Manhattan are frustrated after receiving parking tickets. Channel 8's Parker McGowan has more on why there has been a change in the amount of tickets given out in the last few months.
Since the start of the year, Manhattan residents have seen an increase in the number of parking tickets and are searching for answers to why this may be.
Right, it was a couple weeks before spring break, I started receiving tickets on my car. First it was one day, and I figured it was a one-time thing. Then it was the next day and the next. And on the third day, I was really concerned because it was $15 tickets every single day.
Brody Zwiebel lives in a blue zone next to the high school, which consists of no parking from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on school days only.
Eventually, I got through to parking services, and they explained they made a decision to increase the prices of tickets, and they decided to start enforcing tickets in all colored zones.
Manhattan Parking Services recently took over giving away parking tickets in the beginning of January.
Prior to the development of parking services, the zones were enforced by RCPD, and they don't have the staffing to be able to consistently enforce parking across the city.
There are several colored zones in Manhattan, and all residents have to do is go buy a permit if they live in the area.
The zones are not new. They were not newly created. They've been there for well over 25 years. So if somebody is not observant enough to read a sign and they get a parking citation, then they just need to reach out to us and we will help them get the appropriate permit.
In Manhattan, Parker McGowan, Channel 8 News.
If anyone has any questions or concerns about a ticket, they are encouraged to reach out to Manhattan Parking Services. They want to help. On-campus housing and dining prices are on the rise. How will this be changing tuition prices and enrollment? Plus, we'll hear how the potential TikTok ban is affecting K-State student influencers. Coming up.
You ready?
If you can keep up.
Can you do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got a job interview today. Congratulations.
Thank you. Whatever you do, don't drop it. 5, 4, 3, 2.
I stumbled on my words in one of those parts. Okay, good. Hopefully it wasn't too bad, but I did.
Yeah, so the first third of the runway.
Deviations left of course approved. Bobcat 1-2, proceed when able.
Lawmakers are discussing a bill that could potentially change TikTok. Content creators are worried about the future of the app. Kansas State student Keaton Code uses TikTok for several reasons: to connect with other students, to grow her brand, and to just have fun. Code loves to share her life on the app and says it has helped her in many aspects of life.
TikTok has also really helped me connect with big and small brands. So I've worked with some smaller hair care and skincare companies that they send me content, and then I'm able to make videos and content for them that is able to promote their brands. And TikTok is really a place that smaller content creators and micro influencers can really grow their brand. And without places like TikTok, people are going to have to turn to Instagram and smaller resources that are just not going to give them the exposure that they need.
Kansas State University students can expect to see an increase in their housing and dining cost in the upcoming school year. Channel 8's Summer Spurkey has the story.
Kale DeCat is a K-State student who lives on campus, but not for long. The increase in housing is causing him to move off campus instead. Kansas State University students saw a 4 to 7% increase in housing and dining for the 2023-2024 school year. For the upcoming fall 2024 semester, housing and dining are estimated to cost even more than the previous year.
So I first heard about the housing increase, I think at like some point last semester, and I was kind of on the fence on whether or not I was going to stay in the dorms or get an apartment. But as soon as I heard that their housing was going to increase more than it already is, that kind of pushed me over the edge.
Even with strong student reaction occurring, Derek Jackson, the director of housing and dining, said that inflation is a primary cause for this housing increase.
We're tied into the entire state. So every municipality that buys electricity or gas, natural gas, is all being affected by a KCC rate. So we know utilities are going to go up X. When we look at our dining program, we know that we're serving about 10,000 meals a day, and that beef is going to go up 20%, butter went up 40%, wheat went up 18%.
Despite the justification, students are still affected.
It'd be cheaper now to get an apartment, but it's definitely going to be cheaper next year if the increase is just cheaper to just pay rent on an apartment than stay in the dorms and stay with housing.
In Manhattan, Summer Spurkey, Channel 8 News.
To get more information regarding housing and dining cost, visit housing.kstate.edu. The weather is up next. Have we turned the corner into spring, or is winter weather still in the forecast? Plus, with the spring months approaching, tornado season is on the horizon. Safety and awareness practices are important to keep in mind during these next few months. That's next. Am I coming back on 2? Because I think I have to toss to Sophie.
He was so excited about playing this game. He was excited all week long. At the wall is Dink. It is gone. It's a grand slam.
Whatever you do, don't drop it. Yeah. Okay. I like 2 better. 3, 2.
Together, we represent a diverse and eclectic population.
Together, we believe that diversity, inclusion, and sportsmanship are expectations.
Together, we promote a welcoming and positive environment for all student athletes, coaches, and visitors.
Together, we treat all people with respect and dignity.
No matter their color, creed, gender, ethnicity, or sexual identity.
Together, we are an empowered family. We're empowered family.
Family, diverse and together.
Stronger together.
In a time of evolution, it is our time to elevate and carve our place atop in a new era. An era where championship expectations collide with championship support. We all must come together, fighting, ever fighting for the purple and the white. Times may change, but generation after generation, the support of K-Staters never wavers. K-State fans, are you ready to be a part of powering K-State athletic excellence in a new era?
It's going to be sunny the next few days, but how are those temperatures looking? Sophie Dilly is here with a look at the weather. Sophie?
Spring has sprung in Kansas, but warmer temperatures and blooming flowers aren't the only results of the season change. April through June is the prime time for tornadoes to form across the Midwest. Residents of Manhattan are no strangers to severe weather, as a storm ripped through town in May of 2022, causing nearly $10 million worth of damage throughout the city. Luckily, no one was injured during that storm, and it is important to know how to keep yourself safe in the event of a tornado.
If you receive the warning for tornado warning, you want to take shelter immediately. For the building that you're in, it just depends. Look for the tornado sheltering sign that's usually around in the front entrance of the building. If you cannot find it, if you can ask someone, I would. Usually though, you're going to go to the lowest point of the building, centrally located, stay away from the windows.
Now it is time to take a look at our national weather forecast for the day. We're going to start with our national highs. In the northeast corner of the country, we're seeing low 50s as we move down into Chicago, but as we move down south into Georgia, we are seeing mid to high 60s. And then as we pop over into central Texas, we are seeing almost 80 degrees for them today around Austin. And then in California, we are seeing those mid 60s again. Salt Lake City is going to hit 53 degrees today. And as we move up north, we are going to get cooler and cooler, with North Dakota seeing 42 degrees. And then of course Kansas will be around 68 degrees today. As we take a closer look at our Kansas map, we have mid to high 60s across the entire state, with the outskirts of the state being a little bit chillier. Kansas City is sitting at 66 degrees. Wichita is also sitting at 66 degrees, as is around Colby and into Garden City. And Manhattan will be seeing 68 degrees, and Salina will be the warmest city with 70 degrees today. As we move into our 24-hour forecast, this evening is going to be very gusty. It will be 66 degrees, but it might feel a little bit cooler because of those winds, so keep that in mind as you're outside. But of course, the time change has happened, so you will have that extra hour of sunshine to enjoy throughout the evenings. And tomorrow morning, those winds will push the clouds in, so it will be a little bit chillier at 51 degrees, but not to worry because that sunshine will burn through, and we will see 73 degrees by the midpoint of tomorrow afternoon. Moving into our 5-day weather forecast, of course, it will be 68 degrees today. Tomorrow will be gusty with a high of 74. And then moving into your weekend, on Saturday, it will be partly cloudy with a low of 42 and a high of 63 degrees. And on Easter Sunday, it will be a high of 69 degrees, a little bit chilly and cloudy in the morning, so throw that sweater over your Easter dress. But of course, it will be perfect weather to move into barbecues and Easter egg hunts. And then to round out the beginning of the week, you will have a high of 65 degrees on Monday and start to see that sunshine push on through. Back to you, Bella.
Sports is next. Let's take a look at the success the women's team had during their season. Plus, the K-State track and field team is making themselves known this season with record-breaking scores and several wins in their outdoor opener. That's next.
Together, we represent a diverse and eclectic population.
Together,
Sophie,
we believe that diversity, inclusion, and sportsmanship are expectations.
Together, we promote a welcoming and positive environment for all student athletes, coaches, and visitors.
Together, we treat all people with respect and dignity.
No matter their color, creed, gender, ethnicity, or sexual identity.
Together, we are an empowered family. An empowered family.
Family, diverse and together.
Stronger together.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, you know, it's one extra year and I do love K-State, so it's like, you know, win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
K-State will run the option. Here's Skylar Thompson. He walks it in! Walks it in front of Antonio Gordon. Here's the shot and he's got it! And it is Kansas State, courtesy of Bryn Carlson. Side of the box, crossing, wide open, the shot! Thompson right away. That ball is gone. She gets the ball back, goes up strong, scores! And one!
So the first third of the runway.
Deviations left of course approved. Bobcat 1-2, proceed when able.
The women's basketball team brought in the NCAA tournament this past weekend, and fan support was huge. Cole Dutchendorf has more. Cole?
Thanks, Annabella. Our sports reporter Emma Wiley was on the ground this past weekend talking to fans about the buzz in Bramlage as the women's team hosted the first 2 rounds of March Madness.
This past weekend, for the first time since 2017, Bramlage Coliseum was decorated with the iconic March Madness blue.
It's a really a compliment to this basketball team that they put themselves in this position.
and more importantly, again, is the fans, right? The fans have been supportive of the women's team all year long, and it gives them a chance to see them play in person one more time. So really, it's really exciting, and it's just a really cool feel to be a part of it.
The hosting experience not only showcased the strength of the K-State women's basketball program, but also the unyielding support of the fan base. While the Wildcats tournament run ultimately ended, students still got a free opportunity to experience March Madness.
Being able to have a free student ticket, it also helps because the cost of NCAA tournament games are pretty expensive. So I'm really thankful that the university made that possible for us.
Just to see the love and support from the community, to sell out the stadium has been fantastic.
In Manhattan, Emma Wiley, Channel 8 News.
Fans will have to wait until October to see the Cats in Bramlage again. As the outdoor track season is beginning to heat up, several Wildcat track and field athletes have aspirations that go beyond their time at K-State. With the Olympics taking place this summer, post-collegiate aspirations have begun to take place in the forefront of the minds of several athletes on K-State's track and field team. Tamaya Kuntz, a sophomore thrower from Miami, got off to a strong start for the 2023-24 outdoor season, placing fourth in discus with a personal best throw of 54.47 meters in her hometown at the Hurricane Invitational. She came to K-State with the goal of one day becoming an Olympian.
I definitely want to be on the Olympic team for representing the United States of America.
Monique Hardy, who holds the K-State school record for weight throw, is taking things one season at a time.
Definitely want to train post-collegiately and professionally, hopefully. But I just take everything year by year and see what God has in store for me.
Cade McCall, a thrower from Boise, Idaho, has begun his senior year with a bang, breaking his own school record in the hammer throw at the Hurricane Invitational. McCall plans on continuing his training after K-State with hopes of qualifying for the Olympic trials.
Right now, I would just like to qualify to even get to the trials and kind of just see from there.
Two other track and field athletes have more in common than just a desire to compete professionally. Twin brothers Eugene and Jamie Omala have competed together collegiately for the past 4 years and will finish their careers together at K-State. The twins, who hail from Uganda, dream of running for their home country one day.
I think the number one thing is just representing my country. Post-collegiately, I'd say representing my country has always been number one on the list.
In Manhattan, Cole Dutchendorf, Channel 8 News. The Omala twins and more members of the Kansas State track and field team will continue to push each other forward as they seek to continue to improve day in, day out. Well, that's all the time we have for sports. Annabella, back to you.
Up next, a final weather check. Plus, RPG Games handcrafted game tables and over 300 board games is just a few of what the MHK Tabletop offers. More on the Game Club coming up.
He was so excited about playing this game. He was excited all week long. At the wall is Tank. It is gone. It's a grand slam.
Together, we represent a diverse and eclectic population.
Together, we believe that diversity, inclusion, and sportsmanship are expectations.
Together, we promote a welcoming and positive environment for all student athletes, coaches, and visitors.
Together, we treat all people with respect and dignity.
No matter their color, creed, gender, ethnicity, or sexual identity.
Together, we are an empowered family who empowers family.
Family, diverse and together.
Stronger together.
So the first third of the runway.
Deviations left of course approved. Bobcat 1-2, proceed when able.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, you know, it's one extra year and I do love K-State, so it's like, you know, win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
A gaming club in Manhattan has just opened and is hoping to bring board game players together.
A new board game club has opened in Manhattan. MHK Tabletop is striving to bring residents together through board games.
When David Janicek was looking to open a board game club, he thought Manhattan was the perfect spot.
Kind of the process started late 2023, and kind of the space opened up. It was the right location, close to both K-State and MCC, and I've always kind of had this heart for board games.
Janicek is trying to give Manhattan residents something to get involved with in their free time.
Within Manhattan, there's a very limited amount of things that people can really just go out and do as a group, short of bars, especially for college students. And high school students have a very limited range of things to be able to kind of get out and be involved with.
Janicek says playing board games is a great way to meet new people.
It's really great to be able to have a group of people sit around a table and interact with each other in a very positive way. It's facilitating team building and communication. Being able to meet new people.
For $11, customers can come in and play until close. Jason Adams, a member of MHK Tabletop, has already met new people because of these games.
First day I came in, the Dungeons and Dragons group that we have, some of their friends, we play other games together a few times a week, I've made a lot of new friendships.
People of any age can drop in daily, or there are membership plans you can purchase. In Manhattan, Noah Birchman, Channel 8 News.
For more information or to join game groups, visit mhktabletop.com. Let's get one last look at the weekend weather. Sophie joins us again from our Weather Center.
Taking one last look at our weekend forecast, it is supposed to be windy and 74 on Friday and partly cloudy and 63 on Saturday. And then of course clouds come in on Sunday, but it is going to be plenty warm to get outside and do all of the fun things. And it's ideal weather for traveling if you plan to do that over the holiday weekend. But if you're sticking in town, there are some fun events happening in Riley County for this Easter weekend. On Saturday, you can head to the Downtown Farmers Market for their annual Easter egg hunt. That is on 3rd and Leavenworth, and it is at 10 a.m. and it will run to about 12 p.m. And then on Sunday, March 31st, go ahead and head to another egg hunt at Manhattan Baptist Church at 11 a.m. It is going to be a beautiful weekend for this holiday weekend, and I hope you guys have a great Easter and enjoy this beautiful sunshine while you can. Back to you, Bella.
That's all the time we have for Channel 8 News today. We'll see you back here again next week for more news and information from the Manhattan area. Have a great day.
This is Channel 8 News.